Welcome. I am still Angus, Dr. Random Mole, and over there in the far corner, I am still joined by
Aris, Politopoulos, and right over here next to me, we have a very special guest today.
This is where I say my name.
This is where you say your name.
No. My Discord name is Discord Porck.
exactly. Now your whole gamer tag, your whole gamer name is Discord Porck. You are now. You cannot go back anymore. This is your gamer tag now, forever, ever and ever. You're not only just okay. It's a good name. It's definitely a good name. You're not only Thijs Discord Porck. You're also a university lecturer at the Leiden University. At Leiden University in Old English at Lucas, as we say at Leiden University, at the Center for the Arts and Society. We don't do the academic thing here where we do, where I'm going to give you a whole introduction and etc. I'm just going to let you talk a little bit about what you do and the type of research you're interested in. And after that, we'll do much more talking about this research, maybe in practice, in the wonderful world of Valhalla.
Right. Well, so I'll just say that I'm an assistant professor of medieval English at Leiden University. So I teach Old English and Middle English, but I particularly like Old English. So that's the English spoken in early medieval England. And I'm also interested in revivals of Old English. So in the TV series Vikings and in Tolkien's fiction, Old English is still used and it's still alive. And I've understood that in this game, there's also some Old English. So I'm looking forward to finding that out. And every now and then, I might give you some information about early medieval England.
That would be wonderful because we are very poorly equipped to do that. So that's why it's very nice that you've joined us here today. And I can definitely promise you that there will be some Old English in here. And I'm really curious to hear what your thoughts are about it. To my ears, and I only dabbled in Old English in the very, very, very basic sense, it sounded pretty quite all right. But I'm sure to your expert ears, I'm sure there's all sorts of things to be said about that. So, all of you who are joining us right now, today, live at twitch.tv/valuefnd. Super cool. Absolutely wonderful. You know this is an interactive format. So if you have any questions for me, Aris, or of course for Thijs, just put them in the chat. So any questions about anything whatsoever. We're now just going to sit back and hope that the PlayStation 4, which had a critical database error only 20 minutes ago, will play nice with us. So maybe without further ado, let's try and see if we can do just that.
There we go.
There we go. I mean, when we crossed the threshold just earlier, there was the critical database error. So this is the moment of truth. That's
very nice.
It looks nice. It looks stable. Yes, where we are right now, Thijs. So we already played a little bit of this game last week. And the first part of this game takes place is some sort of introduction area. It takes place in Norway, in South Norway, and it's very nice, but it's a lot of Viking culture. And I'm sure that you know plenty about that as well. But we thought that you particularly would know more about the place where we are right now, which is 9th century England.
Right. Yes, I told my students that I asked you to skip the boring stuff. So I'm glad that you did.
Yeah. Yes, we absolutely did. So what we did last week from across the Great Whale Road, the North Sea, we entered this little estuary over here, and we settled in this what the developers thought was a fictional village of Ravensthorpe. However, when they later checked the map, in that exact place, there was a village called Ravensthorpe. So,
as it happens.
As it happened. So, and this is, as you can see, a Viking settlement within English lands, within one of the kingdoms of England. And there's all sorts of people of my clan living here. And as you can see, I'm playing, in this case, a female Viking. The Assassin's Creed Valhalla has options to play as either male or female. Or you can also let the game choose what is most appropriate at what moment. So that's the option I went for, and I think most of the time you end up playing as the female variant of this. Both of them are called Ivor, and both of them are good, basically good at a lot of different things. I'm very jealous. This is a Viking that is, of course, as you can see, a warrior, but it's also extremely good at flighting, and also just an all around badass, more or less. So and
So the flighting, that's the epic rap battle of the Vikings, right?
Exactly.
So it's the
So that's something that you get to do in this game as well. And we'll see if we'll come across a flighter. I guess you would have to call them, not a rapper, but a flighter. And as you can see, is this? Have you played any Assassin's Creed games ever?
I have played the first one, where I had to climb all the towers of Accra and Jerusalem and what have you. Mm-hmm. So in the Holy Land, and that's the only one I've played.
Yeah.
So
well, there's not the Holy Land.
Is there climbing? Is there climbing in this game?
There is certainly climbing. There certainly is climbing.
No Assassin's Creed.
Look at that.
Well, not this part apparently, but
not this tree though.
You can climb everything except trees.
Except that one tree. For some reason, it's very interesting. I was like, I can. They literally say you can climb anything in this game, and then it all of a sudden isn't true, of course. But there we go.
We can climb a litter house. Right?
Yes, we can climb a house. We will be able to climb lots of different things. But right now we're not going to climb anything. We're going to go into this meat hall, right?
Right.
Talking about meat.
I'll give you a little fact about Thorpe. So the Ravens Thorpe. Thorpe is a typical place name in England, which derives from an Old Norse word, Thorpe, related to Dutch dorp, right? So it's village. Yeah. And you can actually see on the map where Vikings have settled in early medieval England, because that's where you'll find the Thorpe place names. So there are about 200 place names in England with Thorpe at the end, and they're all in the north.
Yeah, because
so that's where most of them settled.
Yeah. We're not technically really in the north. I guess it depends a little bit on what you.
Relatively.
Well, north of Wessex, which is good enough.
North of Wessex, sure. So good. And let's enter this particular meat hall. And as you can see, I think you'll remember that from the first game, Thijs, is that Assassin's Creed games are known to meticulously reconstruct parts of particularly old buildings is something that they're really good at. And I was very excited when I went into my first meat hall in this game, because it's one of those places that is just so you get to see them sometimes. Yeah, it's super iconic. You get to see them in reconstructions of those live Viking villages, etc. But this is
I'm surprised by the carpets.
Okay.
Right? So
exactly.
Yeah.
The Persian rugs.
Yeah. So in my mind there are no carpets, but this is cool. So a real meat hall, of course, would have fold-up tables. Are they fold-up tables?
No, I don't think they're fold-up tables. I think they're
fold-up. They don't look fold-up, at least.
No, they don't.
But you can...
Yeah, they don't look very IKEA-ish to me. They just look very sturdy and yeah.
But you can put them on their sides. That's good.
That definitely we can flip the table.
Yeah.
I don't. Here you go. Let's have a drink. It's a good point. I honestly don't know. It's with these games, the developers often have a reason to put in the things that they do. Sometimes they don't, and you don't know, of course, because it's not that they've referenced or have put in a nice wiki link to the fact that there's this Persian-looking rug on the floor. But it could be referencing the fact that, of course, Vikings had this very large strait network, and that maybe these particular rugs came from very, very far away. Who knows? But to me, they look a little bit out of place, but at the same time, it looks nice and cozy.
I mean, it's well known that the Vikings were all over the place. In the Hagia Sophia in Istanbul, there are Viking ruins, right? So showing us that the Vikings went all the way there.
Yeah.
So why not? Why not? Lovely.
Some Viking graffiti, right?
Yeah. Halfdan was here.
And that is literally what it says, right? Yeah. And Halfdan was here as well. That is kind of the story of this game. Is we're settling here, and we're also what the game euphemistically calls try to pacify the kingdoms of England. under our rule, and that's really the sort of the main thing that you do in this game. So we'll talk to this lady, the wife of the chieftain. The chieftain is out and about conquering and going on stuff.
Has reached outside ears, so have a look around. You may see a few new faces.
And what we're trying to do is we're trying to create an alliance of these different sort of territories that they will support us. This is sort of the narrative, the running narrative of this game.
See the alliance map.
Good.
And oh, we've completed this already. That's not that wasn't supposed to be the case. Ooh, I'm gonna because this is for later East Anglia, if we get to it, because I wanted to run with you through Mercia as I promised. So we're gonna
I should go.
we're gonna be loading for a tiny little bit. Let's see, because then at least we will be able to get back to where we wanted to. Let's see.
So you played.
I played well. I do a lot of saving because it's one of those things that I definitely want. Otherwise, there's lots of auto saves happening. I think
And it doesn't have the system in other Assassin's Creeds. You were able to load specific missions.
Specific missions, yeah, not anymore.
Not anymore.
I'm looking at the chat, and I see Mishi of Rivendell and Momo Dragon 03. I guess this is and they are referring to my professor, which means they're my students, but they are using their gamer names, so I'm not sure who they are.
Just I mean, you're using a very convenient gamer name.
Yes.
Right? So Discord Porck, you can recognize it everywhere. But
yeah, I should have thought of that.
Yeah, this is anonymous. They can do all sorts of anonymous chatting under the guise of their avatar. Michelle, there we go, Michelle. Michelle, very nice to see you here.
Hello.
Let's see if we. No, this is not the right one. Oh wait, it is. In fact, sorry, I think it is. I think the whole.
We're back.
We're back. We're
At the
back where we
same
started. At the same place, absolutely. I think what we're going to be doing.
Hello, Denise. Right.
Do it.
Yeah. Meet the new arrivals at the docks. No, I want to make sure. I want to see what I've already done in the world here. Let's see. Oh no. You're nicely. To my ear, you're just glitching out like all sorts. So yes, absolutely.
Yep.
Am I? Oh, that's
Yes,
it
you
almost
were.
sounded like you were talking Old English, but
Oh, that would be really cool. Yeah,
Yes,
I
that
have some. I have some spikes. I should be fine now, considering I'm back to my 29 ms.
Some Old English spikes. Very good. When I heard the first bit of Old English in the game, I got really excited. I've been running up to people and yelling, "What?" before I start them. Very good. Very good. Yeah. It's not so.
Quacked is the first word of Beowulf and various other Old English poems. It means basically "low"
Yeah, exactly.
or "listen."
Yeah.
Good word
Yeah,
to tell someone right before you stab them. I don't think that's not the point of Assassin's Creed, right? You need to be very stealthy and all that.
Well, that has changed a little bit.
That has changed, yeah.
with the move from the real assassins, which you played in Assassin's Creed 1, the historical legend, the legendary assassins,
Right.
you've become a bit more less stealthy, more conspicuous in the battle doing. So we're getting all sorts of goodies. All right, we get to hear the last bit of.
You got pants.
We got pants. We get all sorts of goodies here. Yes.
We are allied with the Danes of
And we get to pimp our ship as well, as the game calls it.
Well done, Eivor. These early victories will pay off well.
We get lots of stuff. This is
A pigeon. That's good.
Yes, yeah.
She's a powerful fighter and a charming
But there's still haystacks that you can jump in.
There is still haystacks that you can jump in, definitely.
Right.
So this is the tail end of my my previous mission, but
A word of note.
now we get to in fact go to Mercia.
I met him. Read it.
A strange young man, but somehow
The Jom's Vikings are a legendary group of Viking warriors that did not allow any Vikings over 50 to join their troops.
Wow.
Which tells you that less elite Viking troops would include Vikings over the age of 50, which is cool.
That is cool. That is absolutely cool. Yeah, it's not that they were just retiring after 50 wholesale. They were just retiring for this this one elite unit or elite group of warriors. All right, I think that we're now in the position where we in fact can go into Leicestershire. Well, you have to help me there, Thijs. But
what's that? Leicestershire.
Very good.
Yeah,
that's not how they pronounce it in the game.
Leicestershire, basically, but Leicestershire. That's what it should sound like. Yeah, so the end bit, of course, is Shire from The Hobbit.
From The Hobbit. Yes, they watched The Hobbit.
And the Chester bit, that is from Latin castra, meaning army camp. So whenever you see a place name that ends in Chester, Winchester, Chester, Leicester, Gloucester, it tells you that there used to be a Roman army camp there.
Ah, nice. A little bit like Castricum then in the Netherlands, I guess.
I guess so, yep.
Yeah, all right. So we've lost Aris, or intrepid Jomsviking, but from Greece. But I'm sure he will be back with us.
As I hear it, they are on the verge of exiling the current king of Mercia, with the hope of installing a king of their own.
A bold endeavor. I should be there to help however I can.
I think you should.
So that's sort of the mission before us, is to go to Leicestershire or whatever it's called, and now I'm very confused because the game calls it something a tiny little bit different. I'm trying to get it right in your tongue, but and we have to replace the old king with a new one, which is something that Vikings did quite a bit in England. I sort of found out. Right?
Yeah, that's one of the tactics, isn't it? So I think since we're going to Repton, we're going to Mercia, so that will be Burkred, who is going to be replaced by Ceolwulf. According to the one main source that we have from about early Middle England, the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, this Ceolwulf that apparently we're going to put on the throne, he's described as an unwisum Königes Thane, so an unwise, so stupid,
yes,
King's Thane.
Okay.
That tells you that the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, our main source, is rather biased against Ceolwulf, who apparently they didn't like.
Yeah, and maybe because he was supported by outsiders, then by Danes, right? Or maybe, or other reasons not to like him.
Well, so the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle was written at the behest of Alfred the Great, who also pops up in this game. And 5 years ago, they found a coin in the ground that showed both King Alfred the Great and Ceolwulf on the same coin, suggesting that they used to cooperate or co-rule, but then apparently they broke up, as you do.
Exactly, things got complicated.
And then when Alfred had his scribes write the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, they had Ceolwulf be called an unwise King's Thane.
Ah, okay. Something happened. We don't know the whole drama behind it, but
there was drama.
There was drama.
Sure. There was drama. Yes. and our main source for what happens in 9th century England is in part fake news, because it's Alfred giving his own twist to the what's going on.
Yeah, it's
seems
like
to be the case in all our histories, that are, whether you're like in Egypt, in Byzantium, or in medieval England, you are hearing all the fake news from the kings.
Exactly. Yeah. Ooh, nice Celtic cross.
Oh yes, absolutely. If you ever want me to slow down a little bit, just let me know. I'm now going.
No.
Whoops. Well, I should
Whoops,
slow
no,
down because
no.
I'm getting into the banks here.
Oh,
Whoops. Let me steer back a little bit here. You should always watch where you're going, Angus. You should always watch where you're going, even on a longboat like this.
Particularly on a long boat like this.
And this riverine system of.
Don't.
is that a goose? Oh no, it's a little boat.
It's a little boat. Yes.
Ah.
And since it's England.
Wait, you can raid the little boat. That's nice.
No, you can raid
No,
this
you can raid the
monastery.
village. Yeah.
I think we've already raided this.
Yeah,
before.
that's the one we
Okay,
raided.
let's not raid again.
No, that will be just very impolite. I feel, right?
Yeah. Like,
Yes.
just give them some time and then raid them again later.
Yeah. We're gonna meet the sons of Ragnar Lothbrok. We're told in the chat. That's cool.
That's absolutely going to happen.
We have some awkward Roman ruins here, which are totally
yes.
out of place, I guess.
Well, not out of place, but maybe a bit grandiose, right, Des?
A bit out of
It's a bit
size.
grandiose, yeah. It's of course there were Roman ruins in England, and various Old English poems refer to the ruins as the Eld Enta Jewerk, so the old work, the old work of Ents, the old work of giants, and but I don't think there was quite this much.
This much left.
Stuff hanging around still.
Yeah.
But yeah, there definitely would be Roman ruins.
Yeah. No, there's Roman ruins all over the place here, and in fact, they don't refer to these ruins as the work of Ents. They refer to them as the work of Romans. So that's definitely a different take here. You can even go out into the world and collect Roman artifacts for proto-archaeologists. So let's see if we're going the right way still. Yeah, I feel so. Yeah. So we're gonna make a little stop over there to make sure that we can.
We're gonna go to not synchronized.
Yes, because it's not synchronized.
Yes, we are. Yeah, exactly. So remember, Thijs, from the very first Assassin's Creed, this time machine that you were in, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah. Yes.
So it's still there.
It is still there.
And
Okay,
we're still
good.
using it.
Oh, do we have time to save a damsel in distress?
Of course.
I guess
Always.
always.
That's how you make nice stories, right?
I can't hear the sound of the video game.
Oh,
At
okay.
all? That's
Nope.
weird. You should be able to hear it at least a bit on the background.
So if they speak Old English, I can't hear it.
So right now, there's no Old English being spoken.
Okay, good.
But I can bump it up a bit more for you on your end, and otherwise, maybe you can put up the volume of your Discord a little bit more.
There's a volume on my Discord.
Probably is somewhere.
What if you right click on the screen where we're watching the thing, if you right click, you have a stream volume.
Stream volume. I'm gonna put it up to 200,000. No, 200. Yes, I can hear everything.
Good.
Unafraid to kill the likes of you.
All right. Oh, wait, what are we doing? Wait, I'm not even ready for this.
It would be wise.
Okay,
You are not prepared.
I was not prepared. I was trying to save a lady, but
Yeah, but somebody needs to be defending.
yes, apparently. Oops.
I told you to leave, Dame
All
Rat.
right.
The lady is mine.
Dame Rat? Wow.
Game rat.
All right.
I yield. Find
What,
another job
already?
here, lady.
Yeah,
Strange.
apparently he.
All right, very good.
Very good.
He was like,
Well done.
I don't really care about that lady at
No,
all. I'm just
no.
done.
Not so much apparently. Let me do my pro gamer move with extra sound in my my ear. There we go. All right, let's talk to the
So-
lady.
It is over.
You were called a
Come out
you were
now.
called a Dane.
Tarquin,
That's interesting.
my Dane!
Even though we
What has
started it from
happened?
Your capture fled. Felt a little soft for my liking. What are you really doing in there?
Oh God, no! It was only a game, a romp. My dear Tarquin, how could you?
I saw a man holding you against your will.
All a part of the seduction. Oh God, you really thought my life was in danger, and you risked your own. Oh, you are so brave. divine protector.
Tell me you're joking.
Please, you must fight for me. Who knows
Wow.
what lurks below? What vile people
Feminist
might come to
tropes,
harm me. I need a protector, stout and resolute. Please, stand guard below.
If I do, will you come out?
Oh, assuredly.
I don't think she's coming out.
Probably not. She's liking this a bit too much.
Do you think someone's gonna come?
I'm sure there's plenty of bad men running around.
There's trouble coming.
Real trouble. Keep quiet.
Oh, there's a person.
There's definitely a troubling.
And he's wearing red, so he must be the enemy.
Huh? Well now,
That's how it works.
I'd say that's worth a look.
Wow.
Oh,
Get,
he has a nice,
nice
like shield.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what I was gonna say.
Didn't save him. So I
No.
hope that none of our colleagues are turning in and feel that I'm this absolutely bloodthirsty monster. But this is how games like this go, unfortunately. But
There's no longer a stealth attack.
no, there's
I mean,
a stealth.
there is
yeah.
a stealth attack, but it's not as mandatory to use it
No.
or
Mm.
as central. You can
So-
equally just brute force
Well.
your way.
You've saved the White Lady of Tamworth.
Yes.
That's nice.
Or at least have humored her at least. So
Definitely too much. Who are they shooting at?
they're shooting at a bunch of other enemy soldiers. But let's not get too bogged down in combat with the locals.
Oh, nice save.
Max Young is asking whether we're going to play the Beowulf mission. That sounds like a great mission to me.
That does sound like a very nice mission, but I'm afraid I haven't reached that stage just yet. No. That is this game, Thijs, is
It's
very
long.
very long.
Is it?
Yes.
We're talking
I'll come
about
back
like
when you've reached the Beowulf mission. I'll come back to the Beowulf mission.
Absolutely, we should do that. Yes.
I have the
Wet way gardina in Jirdachum failed Kuninga through your frunom. Oh, tha ethelingas, Ellen Fremedom.
That's also the only two lines I know of the Beowulf.
Oh, good.
But I'm sure that you know quite a few more.
I do.
Yes. But so I won't be able to continue this wonderful epic poem.
Oh.
But,
Thijs is out.
Thijs is out.
Thijs out.
With all the excitement of the Beowulf.
With all the excitement of the Beowulf.
I think we can. I think let's move on. This seems like a stronghold.
Like yeah.
We will definitely invite Thijs for the Beowulf mission. We will most certainly do that.
I mean, this game.
If we're getting there, because it's one of those things that you have to have quite a bit of time for this game, right? I don't know how long you've all been playing it so far.
You need some stamina.
You need to be committed.
I
really?
saw
You're back.
on the YouTube that there's a collection of all the cutscenes, and that it takes up 24 hours to just watch the cutscenes.
yes, probably. Yeah, that could be the case. Yeah.
That's without playing.
That's without playing. Yeah.
Thijs, you need to open your camera again because it closed off.
Do I need what?
Yeah. Yes.
What?
You're with us in spirit, but not in body.
But you could hear me, right?
Yes, we
Yeah.
can definitely. Hey, you're back. Yes.
I have the Tolkien translation of Beowulf that was recently published, but I haven't read it yet.
It's
so I have it as well.
Yeah.
I'm holding
very
it up.
good.
Yeah.
And so the translation not very good, but what you really want is the 200 pages of notes. That's what makes it really good.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
Beowulf is one of these epics, one of the few that I haven't read yet, and I still need to actually sit down and do it.
It is.
You should definitely read it.
Yeah, I know.
It is also a bit shorter than your
most epics.
your epics, your Greek epics. So no, definitely something to read. let's do what Vikings do.
That's right.
Hashtag like a Viking.
Hashtag like a Viking. Let me put the sound a little bit lower, otherwise I'm gonna go deaf.
No, don't do that.
Oops. This happens to me all the time when I'm trying to select enemies in combat. I go to the picture taking mode. Oh, a Goliath. That is
It's gonna be interesting.
yeah.
Oh, you
one of mine.
his head.
Oh yes, yeah, nearly did. But that was one of mine apparently.
No.
Oh.
Oh, let him finish. There you go. And then finish the attack animation.
Ah! Let him finish the attack animation.
There you go. Nice.
Are those mushrooms?
They are mushrooms. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
There's
these are mushrooms. There's
these-
plenty of stuff that you can collect.
Are those the kind of mushrooms that make you go berserk?
This guy clearly went berserk.
Oh,
These are winter
That's a nice-
chanterelles.
helmet.
Battle is happening. Oh, they just
That's
collect some mushrooms.
Ah, lovely.
there we go. The battle is done.
That
So
is over.
yeah, he certainly had a nice helmet for sure.
Yeah,
That
Vendel like.
yeah.
Don't
yeah.
know.
It's hard to look at it now because he's with his face in the mud. But
you can carry him.
you want me to carry? You want me to manipulate this body
Carry the
to,
Goliath.
to have a look at his
There you
helmet.
go.
All right, let's see if we can nicely put him down so we can have a look at his helmet. All right, let's see. Whoop.
Come on.
No, with his face in the mud again, Aris. This is not gonna work. This is one of my noble.
Damn it.
All right.
No.
I don't think.
I guess they don't want you to look the dead in the
oh,
face.
there we
Oh,
go. There we go.
There we
All right,
go.
maybe. So let's do this very morbid thing where we inspect a dead person's helmet. All right, let's see if we can. If we can. Yeah, exactly. Whoops, a bit too close.
Zooming in.
Zooming
Right.
in. Yeah. So what is the? It's still a bit hard to see, I guess.
It is still a bit hard to see.
Oh, but it is. It has little
Yeah.
little
Has
board
nice
tusks
decoration on it.
or something.
Little
like that.
tusks.
Little tusks, yeah.
That's good.
Very good. And it has the face shield. It's yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the wonderful thing about Assassin's Creed. So many of the details work, and it's not only for this game. For all the other games that were part of their. Oh wait, apparently there's still one left. It doesn't really matter whether you're going to go to Victoria, London, or if you're going to Egypt. There's a bit of an exception with the Caribbean version. That's very much based on pirates and all sorts of other, not super historical things. But even there's a nice reconstruction of Port Royal in there.
Yeah, I remember when the trailer came out for this game, you could see King Alfred signing a document, and I could recognize the medieval manuscript that was used to give you the medieval writing on that document, which was actually a manuscript containing an Old English text written by Alfred. So that was pretty cool.
That is pretty
and,
cool. Absolutely. It's Assassin's Creed is a very interesting game in the sense that what it will readily do, it will mix up current day references. So, for example, I was playing a mission this afternoon where I got to meet the Old English version of the lead singer from The Prodigy.
What?
Who was who had a problem with a local bishop, and then I smacked up the bishop, and that was the inspiration for that song. So
Smack my bishop.
Smack my bishop.
Nice.
Yes, exactly.
Good. Yes.
So you have all sorts of current day references, but it's the same for the past. So, for example, if you know your stuff, you're gonna recognize so many things, and it's just a lot more interesting, I think, if you in fact know the histories and can see all the references. So, all right, let's go raiding again, because this is the monastery that I was aiming for. And as you were talking earlier, Thijs, maybe this is a nice moment to talk about your collection of monks.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
I have monks.
exactly.
Here's my little monk keyring. There you go.
There you go. Very
Lovely. He's holding a book. That's
Good
because
son.
that's what most monks did, right? Writing little books.
good.
And here's my little monk bookend, which he's reading a book.
Oh, I
Like
see.
good monk.
I see. We're in trouble because the monks are a bit. They're over leveling us a little bit. So we'll see if we're able to take
You can
these
do
monks
this, I
down.
believe.
Oh
Right?
man,
Yeah,
no, but
I thought you said we couldn't kill monks.
no.
No, the local militia. The local militia.
Exactly. There's a local militia.
I thought one of the advantages of monasteries was that they were unguarded.
Yeah, but
But
apparently
Yeah,
here,
apparently.
here not so much.
Here they're very much guarded.
Yes, very much guarded, and I think we will see an ignominious end to our raid because all of the. So what Assassin's Creed does nowadays, Thijs, is there's levels to it. So as you can see here, the suggested power level for this area is 250 that I accidentally wandered into. And I didn't see that.
And your power level is
I think 20 or something like that at the moment. So
right.
There is some
46. So there is some discrepancy here.
Well,
But we'll see how far we'll be able to get.
at least you can look through walls. That's good.
Yes, we can look through walls. That's my assassin's DNA doing the trick for me. I honestly don't know
Right.
why, but
Of course.
we can see where we don't want to be if we want to encounter some enemies. But also, we do want to get in there. So we'll do some
You
climbing.
can climb that. Right.
Yes,
Good.
absolutely. And probably this is a good spot for us to try and get in. Smash a window like a Viking.
Very nice.
All right, and let's see if we.
I mean, can't you kill these monks while they're running?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. So there's monks around that you can in fact try and kill. Come on, I want to jump on your head. Well, apparently that's not allowed. And if you do, you get a penalty. It says.
I think so.
Ivor didn't kill civilians, so this is a very special type of Viking apparently.
Pacifist Viking.
As you can see, not entirely pacifist, but a soft spot for monks. Maybe also collecting
Right.
monk statues. Who knows?
Well, it's a good thing to have a soft spot for.
Militia Freedom themselves have been playing this game.
I will say that I recognize a typical Anglo-Saxon door.
While I'm
In fact,
dancing around.
If you'd be so kind as to kill this person, so we can look at the door.
All right, we will
Yes,
look
look
at
at the
there we
door.
go.
Yes, lovely. I think if you Google oldest door in England, you'll find a door that looks quite like this.
Oh yes, absolutely. Oh, is it? So that's one of the things that they're doing, Thijs, in the research for this game. They ask people like you to provide them with input, but if they don't have the answer in their humongous research document, they Google and they go on Wikipedia.
Right.
And the official, no, not official, but the officious rule at Ubisoft is that if they look for something for 30 seconds and haven't found the answer yet, then they can make it up. If they find it within 30 seconds, the amount of time that a regular person would be Googling for something like this, then they have to go with the answer that they find on Google, or on Wikipedia. It's called the 30 seconds Wikipedia rule at Ubisoft. So probably that's the result of this.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can find.
I did find that door, in fact, again.
You did? Nice.
I did find it. I googled it and I found it.
How many
It's exactly
seconds?
like that.
How many seconds?
In 10 seconds. Like, I just typed it and it was the first picture that came up.
Nice.
Yeah, see?
Very good.
Let's see your combat skills.
Yeah, it gets a bit Dark Souls like Aris with at this level because it's one hit and you're more or less gone.
Yeah.
So
Gone. You're just desynchronized.
exactly, we have to jack back into our memories because this is not how history happened. Right. So we get to reload. That's the nice thing about playing in the past through this Animus machine. But I'm not going to try and. Oh, Thijs is lagging a bit. But
in the chat there is some discussion about the penalization for killing civilians and to what extent this is accurate.
Well, accurate, historically
Yeah.
accurate.
Historically, not
Not so much.
not so very accurate.
No. No, but I mean, it's a very interesting discussion. So you can kill all sorts of humans in this game as long as they're soldiers, as long as they're carrying weapons or are bandits. But at the same time, you also see lots of horrible, as we will see in a little bit, lots of other horrible things just happening.
Yeah.
So let's not try that again.
There is a little bit of it is interesting, this whole thing with penalizing killing. I guess if you think like games like how do you call it, Grand Theft Auto, where you do get penalty for killing, for randomly smashing into civilians and stuff, you still do it, but you are penalized for doing it, right?
Well, with GTA, you're not penalized because you're not penalized in the traditional sense. The cops come, right? That's the penalty.
Yeah. But here how are you penalized here then?
So if you do it once, you get this warning. If you do it again, you're desynchronized. So you're just game over.
Because in Odyssey, your wanted record would
go up,
go higher, right? And then you would be.
Yeah. Not the case here. Not the case here. That the whole wanted record is gone from, as far as I can see, gone from the.
Yeah.
Just like Thijs, gone from the game.
Thijs seems to be back here, but.
Oh, it seems okay. He's back. Could be that I just.
And he's back out again.
Oh dear.
He's coming in and out. I guess he's at the university, so the university network has been iffy lately.
I don't think is he at the university. Oh, it could be. But I'm not sure. The university network has been very iffy. I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
This
is unfortunate.
Yeah, but Discord has also been iffy lately for me.
Discord has also been iffy.
Hey, Thijs,
he's
trying to get back here. Well, we'll just listen to this lovely Viking song.
So I wanted to ask Thijs, but he's not here. About his songs. And because for the Greek songs, they were a bit random for Odyssey.
Yeah.
And to what extent these songs are... We talked about it a little bit last week, but I guess now we've seen more songs.
Thijs seems to be back.
Hello!
Internet.
I think my internet just died on me, but I'm still alive.
You're still alive.
I can hear Vikings singing.
So that's exactly what we were talking about. To what extent, like this type of songs, like what kind of music do we know of in terms of Viking music, and whether they were this type of sea shanties or whatever?
Yeah, so of course we have the sagas, which tell us that in some of them are in poetic form, so we have to assume that they sang some of these songs.
Yeah.
But I hear them singing in English, which is unlikely for Vikings.
There is a very interesting sort of thing going on here with the language. Is that it is Assassin's Creed has English throughout, and English with accents as well. So if you hear Ivor talk, or even here, you can even hear it a little bit in this, maybe.
Yeah, you can sort of.
It's a bit. They put a Scandinavian lilt to it in a little bit.
Right.
That's a sort of an Assassin's Creed thing. But then they also have
a bit like Vikings, the TV series.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Very much like Vikings. But and I'm gonna put the sound on a little bit higher, so I won't be able to hear you as well. But you will be able to hear them probably speak some Old English in this village, in this town of Repton. Let's try and listen to some of it.
You can go to Repton today. It's a really nice place. There's a lovely church with an Anglo-Saxon crypt.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of the very few remaining Anglo-Saxon churches, right?
Yeah. So the crypt is definitely from the 8th century or so. Of course, the current building isn't. But yeah. Lovely. Like
very nice.
Dancing.
Yes. Let's find. Let's see if we can find. It could be that they're also speaking Norse and still part of these things. But let's just try and listen in on a couple of conversations.
Right.
Well, that's not a conversation. That's somebody.
No.
Þykist mér að hann veiti hvað sé kambr? Eða hvað á hann að gera við þetta saman? Á hann að láta Vigdís í friði? Eða drepa hann, segi ég.
Kem ek með afleiðingar. Brekk ek mér undan að tvinna eða bregð við bæjarfólk.
Are we listening to Norse or are we listening to?
I guess we're listening to Norse.
Sounds more like Old Norse to me than Old English.
Yeah, exactly. So let's try and see if we can find some regular civilians. It does sound a lot more like Norse to me as well. But, yeah, that's the thing. That there's this town has been taken over by the Norse in the game at least.
Right.
So that's
Let's
probably.
find some slaves.
Yeah, exactly.
So once you hear the K sound in ik and all that, you know it's not Old English because you want them to say ich or whatever.
Interesting. Let's keep on running, and I'm sure we'll find.
At some point, we'll certainly find someone speaking Old English. I imagine.
I imagine in Old England you would imagine so.
Yeah. So the problem, of course, is that Old Norse and Old English were rather similar languages. There are both Germanic languages. They're related languages. Many words they had in common. So you have to really look for the sound changes that happened to English but didn't happen to Old Norse or vice versa.
Oh, that's...
Now he says no.
No, we can definitely understand that. So this is in the, I think is in this. Well, no, it's maybe this is the church you were talking about earlier. Some gruesome stuff coming up, Thijs.
Trigger warning.
Nice.
Who stands before
Ivar the Boneless?
Anderson?
Yes, it is.
Are you Sigurd Drenger?
I'm surprised he has legs.
Eivor,
Yes.
if you keep that up, we'll stain the floors.
The place could use some color.
Who are they?
All spies. Dressed to look the part of a peasant. Got feisty. Pitchfork. From this rabid little one. Was a time when you met and slew your enemy on the field before they could dream of things like sending spies!
And now we shake hands and make deals.
Not my thing.
I figured.
I love them whipped, weeping, and reeking of piss.
It's
Hey!
Yeah, it's this
something.
this scene has been has received quite a bit of pushback from internet commenters because of its basically its gratuitous use of
Run amok
torture.
the Mercian fields.
Right.
Kind of the Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and but it's even something that was part of one of the PR rounds of this game. That they were even talking about all the horrible punishments that Vikings would, mete out on their enemies or on spies in this case. So it's clearly something that was done on purpose by the game developers.
Yeah.
There's the myth of the blood eagle, right? Where they cut out a couple of ribs and then they pull out the lungs like little wings of a little eagle.
Yes.
But that's been well, it's been proven that probably never happened. And if it did happen, the person whom it happened to wouldn't have been alive.
No, exactly. So, but this particularly the one, the blood eagle, is one of the things that has been referenced in the promo material leading up to this. But yeah, it's so who is this character that we're talking to? This Ivar, Thijs?
Ivor the Boneless. Yeah. So as I said, I'm surprised he has legs, because that's what his name actually means, right? So Ivor the Boneless means legless. It's been suggested that he either had floppy legs, i.e. that he couldn't walk, or he lacked legs. And we know that he was carried into battle. That's what we know from a number of sources from the period.
Yeah.
One source.
How would that work?
One source. Well, of course, you would put him on a shield and you would carry him around, right?
Yeah.
And he would be a strategic genius.
Okay.
And that may have happened. One source suggests that he was Ivor the Bonerless, because he was impotent.
Nice.
There's a lovely documentary about Ivor the Boneless. It's called The Strangest Viking, and it was a documentary by someone who suffered from brittle bone disease, and he suggested that brittle bone disease was what Ivor the Boneless was suffering from.
Nice. Yeah.
So that's interesting to check out.
That's a very interesting interpretation of it. Could definitely have been some. You would want to be carried into battle if you've got brittle bone disease, but at the same time, interesting. So here clearly they went with crazy Viking as a character. But not in any sort of sense fragile.
No, and with working legs for as far as we can see.
As far as we can see, yes, absolutely. And exactly as J.A. Pesco says in the chat, like Bane can mean either bone or leg in Dutch. Yes, I guess so.
That's right. Yeah, that's the name.
But that price does not change.
And this is his brother, right, Thijs?
Uba. Yeah, so Ivar the Boneless and Uba are both sons of Ragnar. Ragnar, you may know from Vikings. Of course, the sons of Ragnar also play a role there.
Now fuck off.
Nice. And it's the sons of Ragnar who lead the Muchelhaven Hera, the great heathen army that sets out to conquer almost all of England.
Yeah, and that is 871, 870. What is this again?
I think 865 is when they start showing up, and then 878 is when they're defeated.
Right.
By Alfred the Awesome, Alfred the Great.
Okay, but they sort of been around in England now for a while, and they clearly are in power here, because what they're trying to do is, here's Ceolwulf as we see, who they're trying to install him on the throne. So I get to have a little look. So what would you, if you get to ask one of these three questions to Ceolwulf, Thijs, what would you ask him?
Well, I would ask him, are you fit to rule? Because I've heard that you're an unwise king's thane.
Absolutely.
I've read that in a chronicle somewhere. So that's what I would ask him.
It must be true.
Yeah.
Do you have what it takes to be king?
One day, I hope. As it stands, we at least have an understanding. The king is
Sounds very unwise.
Yes.
Ceolwulf means to change that. There'll be a new king for a new England.
For now, Burgred is holed up in his fortress at Tamworth, making a final stand.
Another shithole. Only further south.
We've held a siege there for weeks to no effect. So, no more knocking. Now we batter the gate to splinters. If we take Tamworth, remove Burgred and crown Ceolwulf, come morning the Shire is ours. And Mercia soon after. Yes, remove. I cannot stress that enough. Burgred is not to be harmed. My legitimacy as king hangs on this one simple fact.
You rob all the joy from war, Saxon.
Not every victory needs to be marked by the slaughter of a king.
But it is much better.
His request is fair, Ivar, and we will honor it.
And then the question is, can we trust Ceolwulf, or what do we want to go with here in terms of an answer?
Let's say it's a sound plan. Let's begin.
All right.
It does sound like a sound
This
plan.
is a good plan, brother. I am ready.
Smashing
for the
some,
fight.
smashing some doors and capturing
Whatever
some
you
things.
Yeah.
stand to gain here,
We've already
so
saved the Lady of Tamworth.
an alliance between
Yes.
my clan and Mercia's crown.
How much support is there for Ivar's hairstyle? Asks Pascal.
Ah, that's a good question.
Hairstyle.
The bold
So
sons
there
of
are
Ragnar
texts
bellow to
from
sound
early New
the
England
Styrian
which
din and the thunder of
suggest
shields.
that
So let fall the
a
arrows
typical
fall,
Viking
the
would have
battle
the
begins.
back of his hair cut,
You never
so with
said
bare
this
neck,
was a poet.
and covered eyes, so the hair would hang like a sort of emo over their eyes.
Lead the
Sure.
way.
And yeah, so we know this from a letter written by a monk to another monk complaining about the fact that some monks like to dress up like Vikings, and so they have their hair like that, so with the back cut and
You'll be remembered
hair
for this.
hanging over their eyes.
Those
Monk-
youngsters. So
Exactly. Monk emos. emo,
Yeah, monk,
e-
emo monks.
emo monks. E-monks.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. So what we're now playing through is the Kingsmaker saga in this game. That happened, right, Thijs?
Quite a lot to see here.
Yeah, so this really happened. Yeah, so again, in the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, which is our main source, we're told that Burgred is I think he's sort of scared out of England, scared across the sea. So he's deposed, and the Vikings put Ceolwulf in his place.
Have the armies already in
And
Tamworth.
again, that Chronicles tells us that Ceolwulf is an unwise king. An unwise king's fame, really king.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this really happened.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
We're making history,
Yeah.
Angus.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, we see a lot of details being filled in here. So, for example, Ubba and Ivar having a real strong role in this, and that is maybe not entirely supported by the Anglo-Saxon Chronicles, I guess, because it's really short that what's in here that talks about this period. Right?
Yeah, sure, of course. So the chronicles are rather brief. They're really factual. So Vikings go here, Vikings go there. Great heathen army goes to Repton. Great heathen army goes to Tamworth.
Yeah.
And what we see here is them filling in details.
Yeah.
Now, what's interesting about Ivar and Ubba working together is that we do have some texts, notably a Passion of Saint Edmund of East Anglia, another king of England, of an English kingdom that was killed. And we're told that Ingvar and Ubba are the ones who do this. So they eventually decapitate Saint Edmund. And that's Ingvar, and Ubba, that's Ivar and Ubba.
Ah, okay. So
it's quite nice to see them working together here.
Yeah. So that there's some evidence for, at least for them working together. Let's put it like that. So are we ready for some flighting? I found a flighter, I think.
I've heard
Oh, good.
Danes are cursed with slow brains and fat tongues. Care to prove me wrong?
Most men choose to be loud or stupid. Impressed that you manage both. I will take you on.
It's a very nice. I'm going to put the sound a little bit higher. It's a very nice mini game because it first of all it's we bet, and then it's really about the rhythm and rhyming. So it's you have to match. You get 3 options, and you have to match the insult with a retort that both rhymes as well as has the same rhythm or it's the meter basically. So it's a kind of a smart mini game. So let's see if we can beat this one.
Yeah, of course.
Here.
Go big or go home.
Thank you.
Let us begin.
I have sparred against champions and bested each one.
Ooh, and that doesn't rhyme. Prepare to taste bitter defeat once your battle is done. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right, let's go for that one.
Yeah, let's go for that one.
Prepare to taste bitter defeat once our battle is done.
Oh, terrible.
Oh, apparently not.
You're a misfit, a half-wit, a foolish old grouse.
You're a weakling who milks up a cadge or a louse. You're no better than a rat that I would evict from my house. So that sounds.
Oh, that sounds nice.
You're no better than a rat that I would evict from my house. Yeah, that works.
I would go for the first one.
Oh, you would go for the first one. All right, let's see.
That I would evict
Let's see.
from my house.
No sense.
Oh, yeah, you're the specialist, Thijs.
No, you didn't have the rhythm.
I didn't have the rhythm.
The greatest of flighters, a master of verse.
Alright. Your pride is appalling and your rhyming is worse. You bet on yourself.
Yes, that's the one.
This one's okay.
The second one.
Alright, the second one.
Pride is appalling,
and your rhyming is worse.
Got you there, young.
Oh, there you go. Well done,
As
Thijs.
predicted. A
Yo,
slow
mama.
brain and a fat tongue.
You are not worth the effort.
Come find me.
Oh,
when you
we
your
lost,
skills.
unfortunately. But
Oh no.
Yeah, 2-1.
Do it again.
do it again.
Do it
Alright,
again.
alright.
Do it
Back for
again.
more, eh? Must have an appetite for
We
punishment.
just lost 200 silver, so we better get this right.
Just double up.
I
Double up.
deciphered your rhymes
Double up,
and
exactly.
the form
Double
of
or
your
nothing.
flight. I am ready to give you the brunt of my wit.
Good. And how much will you wager?
Well, we, as I said, go
Double
big
up?
or go home.
No big.
Thank you.
Let us begin.
I have sparred against champions and bested each one.
Alright. Oh, to beat such a bracket will surely be fun? Is that
Yes,
that's
that's
okay.
the last one.
That's
Yep,
it.
yep,
That's it.
Yes.
How to beat such a braggart will surely be fun.
Ah, quick to bite back. Be careful, young Earl.
Ah, very good.
You're a misfit, a half-wit, a foolish old grouse.
You're a
Man,
weakling, a
this,
milksop, a catcher, a louse? Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, alright.
That's the one.
You're
That's
a
the one you want.
weakling, a milksop, a catcher, a louse.
Brilliant.
Oh, there you go, Thijs.
I'm the greatest
you've
of
got the
flighters,
flighting.
a
You've got it.
master of verse.
Alright, this one we got right. That was your
Yeah.
pride is appalling.
Your
and
pride is
rhyme-
appalling and your rhyming is worse.
Okay.
Your pride is appalling and your rhyming is worse.
Got you there, young Earth.
I could see
I'm
you playing
impressed.
this this game
You
in
are
class,
sharp as that axe
Thijs.
on your belt.
This sounds really good.
I
Yeah.
want my
Yeah, you
winnings
could
now.
Take the gold.
you could even take it outside of the game and just insult some students and see how they retort.
See
But,
how it happens. And it's a
That's-
game.
That's usually what my tutorials are like.
yes, I'm sure. I'm sure. No, but
So we,
go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, we do talk about flightings when we talk about Beowulf because there is a nice sort of flighting in Beowulf, the poem, where Unferth sort of attacks Beowulf and says, you lost a swimming match," and then Beowulf just goes, you're drunk and you killed your brother," and so on. So it's really
He gets a good thrashing.
well, it's a rap back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ulfred gets a good thrashing if I remember correctly. Verbal
That's
thrashing.
right.
Verbal thrashing.
Archaeomancer says it's like the pirate battles in Monkey Island.
Ah, yes. Yeah, that's a good blast from the past. That yes, absolutely. It's a little bit like the pirate battles from Monkey Island.
Sail southeast.
And Miss you Freedom, there'll be months that you do this in class now, Thijs. So
There you go.
Shall weep at the
Now you
sight
have to
of
do
what
it.
the future holds for this kingdom.
Right. Of course, the Old English poetry doesn't rhyme, so they'll have to alliterate for that. But we'll make it work.
We'll make it work. Good. Looking forward to. Oh wait, I guess I have to talk to you first before we get to leave. Yes, okay.
Eivor, is
Being
your
insulted
axe
in verse if we get the translation wrong.
I'm ready for the spear day.
nice.
and the thunder
Certainly.
of shields? Yes. It's good to have
I
you
see
with
that
us.
Fight beside such legends
Simon
is an honor.
Line TV
I've only heard
is
tales of
asking,
your
"Isn't
conquests.
Edmund the my
I
head's
get
over
to
here,
hear them.
Saint?"
We'll weave our
that's
solace
right.
together, thread upon thread.
I'll talk
Come
about
on,
that later.
Boy. We'll forge a man from your softness, hammered on the anvil of war.
to fight to be
Move!
Calm, Ivar. The fight's not here.
Aye. The fight is nowhere to be found in this boy.
A boy who happens to be Ceolwulf's son. Why is he not in his quarters?
Our future king wants a battle-hardened heir. Time he proves his worth, don't you think?
Alright. Well, let's just say, worried about
Not yet
succession
crowned
already.
king and already grooming his successor. That shows some boldness.
Right. And bold kings need bolder sons.
Ivar!
He comes with us. And should anything happen to this little sprout, I will bear the punishment our future king inflicts.
He'll want to remove your head.
Haha, you hear that, boy? You die, and I'll have to kill your father, too.
Very.
So,
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, as Simon Lion TV asked whether the Edmund that I referred to was the heads over here saint. So in the Passion of Saint Edmund, featuring Ivar and Uba working together to depose the king of East Anglia, they decapitate Saint Edmund and they throw his head in the bushes. And when Edmund's followers return and they look for Edmund, they find his decapitated body and they start looking for the head. And so they ask, where are you? Where are you? And the head shouts, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And that's how they find the head.
Ah, yes, wow. That's how you do that.
Yeah.
Oh, we're certainly en route for some heads flying in this game right now.
Hey! And we're using horses, that's good. We know that Vikings use horses quite a bit.
They'll die defending him.
That is, there's an interesting article out on Polygon.com talking about the horses in this game and how historically accurate they are. And
because they're small.
Exactly, because they're small, but apparently they're not super historically accurate, but also not too bad.
From where do you come? If I'm
they would have written slightly sturdier steeds, apparently.
Yeah.
I didn't know
these legs are too thick.
Yeah.
What are the people like?
You ever see a herd of sheep follow each other off the edge of a cliff? They're like that. The ones who remained, anyway.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So one of the problems that that King Alfred faced when the Vikings came over to England was that the various kingdoms of the English didn't work together against the Vikings. And so some kingdoms would actually support the Vikings and give them horses. So they would go to some other English kingdom and raid that instead.
And fast as well, right? Because they had horses, so they would be gone fast. Oh wow, yeah, that's yeah, it's not the greatest hour of the English kingdoms this particular moment, I guess.
It wasn't the United Kingdom just yet.
No, not just yet.
The size of Norway, and yet we have 4 kings for our 4 kingdoms.
You see? How could I not be impressed?
4 kingdoms, yeah.
No, Harold is a good man with grand ideas. I can see that now.
I am only 6 years his junior and have yet to see my first battle. I cannot imagine the skill and cunning he has.
Your first battle is coming, young
some
From this day on,
praise he's getting there.
Yeah.
Progress.
I'm not sure I want so swift a rise.
I mean, we're not landscape archaeologists, but it's also very nicely done, the way that this landscape is both quintessentially English.
As easily as if you might hand over
a lovely English walls.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
It was a betrayal of trust.
Typical.
The prick of which still stings me.
Be it a blessing or a curse, family is always first.
Oh, there's someone coming on a horse.
Were you not an atheling, I would
I
hire you as my skull.
Skull? It sounds something like
a little bit of traffic in the old English road.
Is that what you mean?
Oh, nice.
Fascinating. The harmony between our words and yours is quite something, as if we were distant cousins, separated by an ocean of time as well as space.
Some proper comparative linguistic philology going on here.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking too. When I was, it's like, so he makes this based on the word for, well, basically court musician, skald, right?
Skald in Old Norse, and then shop or skop in Old English. And there was a lovely discussion about how the languages are very similar, which of course is true.
Yes.
And they could probably communicate. So when the Old Norse, the Vikings came to England, they would speak Old Norse, the Anglo-Saxons would speak Old English, and they would probably sort of figure out what the other was saying. Like we can understand people from Germany who come over here and talk in German.
Yeah. That's and that's probably useful if you want to know whether to run or shake their hands.
Garrett is in the chat and he's doing the trumpet for himself.
Ah, oh, sorry, Garrett. Let me do the trumpets for you. There we go. There. So we've got a couple of loyal followers, and they always get trumpets when they arrive. I also think I didn't do trumpets for JA, so there you go. That's I was too engrossed in the whole history discussion here to do the trumpets. Right, we're at Thamesworth, so let's see what this
nice.
book is about.
Royal seat of Mercia, so that's good.
Playing this on the PS4, so the loading is a bit slow.
The loading is exhausting. But even if you wanted to play it on PS5, I don't think you'd be able to play it on PS5.
Ravenous, unseemly beasts teeming over holy ground.
Have a care, Lord. These pagan rats outnumber us.
I can see that, fool. What do we do about them?
I advise we strongly consider their demands, Lord. We won't survive a fight.
Is that you, Leofrid? How quickly you recover! I'm beginning to wonder if it is a man or a god beneath all that armor.
A man of God stands before you, Ymir. Proud and resolute.
That's Burger's Thane. Killed a dozen of our men in an ambush along the River Trent. It was Ivar's axe that stopped him.
That is a poor description of a perfect 30-yard toss.
Enough jawing, heathens! Speak your piece! We've come for your crown, Lord.
With or without your head attached.
I admire your ambition, pagan. But what you ask is impossible. No Dane ever has or ever will occupy Mercia's sacred throne.
Well, there we go.
Right.
Not to worry. We have a Mercian of our own.
Jailwolf, you mean? When I'm done with you lot, I'll execute that foolish thing for treason.
My king, may I suggest a more measured approach to this?
I grow weary of this palaver. You have trampled our lands, toppled our monuments. We've given you silver, fed your people. And yet, in spite of all this, your encroachment on my kingdom continues. No more! We will die defending what is ours, whatsoever the cost. If you want my crown, Uber Ragnarsson, you must pry it from the hands of my bloodless corpse.
Historicus Criticus says that the Leofrid from Assassin's Creed Valhalla looks like the one from the Last Kingdom. Yes, he does, right? I think
he does quite a bit.
Yes, I think they've been looking at these other popular media, and that's a very interesting thing with video games, is that they do this transmedia referencing.
Yeah.
So it's all pop culture, so it's all up.
I actually had this discussion today with a student who's writing a thesis on a similar topic, and we're discussing how after the movie Troy, whenever you think of Achilles, you always think of a blonde Brad Pitt.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like it sort of became a modern trope of Iliad. Think of Achilles as Brad Pitt.
Even intertextuality, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very much exactly.
Yeah.
And so what I like is that so far I haven't really heard the word Viking just yet. They talk about Dane and Norse and pagan, and that's quite cool because, of course, the word Viking itself was rarely used in the time that this game is all about.
No, exactly. So in the beginning, or I think sometimes you're being referred to as a Vikinger, which is a type of warrior, right, Thijs? Or basically, or something like that anyway. But so sometimes you're being referred to that, but very sparely so. Absolutely, you're being referred to as Norse or Dane or All right, I think it's time for some.
Who are you?
Some combat. Oh wait, I think this is.
I'm with the Ragnarsons. It's time to roll out the battering ram.
Birgrid wanted to fight. Now we'll give him one. Are you ready to march now?
Ready as we'll ever be.
Let's go. It's time to capture a kingdom.
What are we going to do about him?
Jail there. Something wrong?
I know these men, Abel. I've supped with them. Not 2 weeks ago, Leofrith showed me how to wield a greatsword. He's a friend.
Friendships end, often at the point of a spear.
It cannot be that cold. Least of all with Leofrith. He is only following orders.
When the match begins, find an empty tent and stay there.
Do not think me a coward. I am not afraid of war. I do not want to kill my friends.
There's no other way. Fight or hide. It's up to you.
So, Ceolbert, is that a historical figure? Is that in fact the son of Ceolwulf?
I have no idea, but I was going to comment on the nice historical fact that the name of the son has an element in common with the name of the father, right? So Ceolwulf and Ceolbert. That's the kind of naming patterns that we often see when we look at early medieval England. So King Athelwulf would have a son called Athelstan, and Athelbert, and Athelred, right? So you would use an element of that name and then use one other element, a stock element, and that's how you would form names. So it's even if Ceolbert didn't really exist, he would probably have a name quite like Ceolbert because he was the son of Ceolwulf.
Nice. All right,
so Barker is asking why Ceolwulf want to keep the previous king alive, and why is that important to his legitimacy?
No idea.
No, that's one of those things that I also probably it's to give a bit of a character to this whole conflict, right? Maybe, but maybe. Because I think that when Burgred was in fact deposed, he doesn't appear in any other historical records anymore, right?
Well, I think the Angus Chronicle tells us that he's cast out to sea, so he's removed.
Removed,
but
yes.
not killed.
Okay, so maybe that's
This guy goes,
maybe that's part of the whole thing then. Maybe. Right, we
breached
the gates.
ram is a rather elaborate ram on the head, while the rest feels a little bit makeshift.
Yeah, they've definitely put a lot of time into the battering ram's ram head.
Into the ram's head.
Yes. All right.
So in the chat there is some discussion about the fact that Vikings are farmers. That's quite right. So if you read the sagas, some of them tend to be about farming quite a bit, and even the Vikings who come over in the early 9th century, so the ones that go out and raid, they would typically raid in the summer and be back home by August so they can bring in the harvest.
Yeah.
Right. So even then, their raiding was built around the whole farming year.
Yeah. Which is something that we see like across cultures, right? That cultures that would use raiding as a subsistence strategy, they would accommodate around other activities. They wouldn't be full-time raiders, so to speak.
Yeah, so plant your crops,
go
out raiding, harvest the crops,
chill out for the winter.
Yeah, exactly.
Rinse and repeat.
It's something we often forget, right? Yes, it's a system. It's something we often forget with these warrior. The focus on warriors and soldiers and generals, but they were also, of course, people that had a life outside of that. And that is
like it's like professors in academia. They also have a life outside of the teaching room, you know?
And they play video games, or collect monk statues, or drink mead.
There you go.
But there has been quite a bit of a discussion in the making of this game that they wanted to show this part of it. Like, this is of course what people come for, the action. Yeah. But also then the whole settlement where we started out, or live stream, that's also an integral part of it, to sort of show that it's not only about this, it's also about taking care of your clan, of your people.
Right,
settling, exactly.
Yeah.
So that I think I was a bit apprehensive before this game, because the promo material was really very much pushing the raiding lifestyle. But in the game itself, I mean, quite clearly right now this is a violent episode. But there's also little things in there, like the fighting, but also there's cairn building in there and all sorts of other interesting little activities that have nothing to do really with the.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think like the raiding becomes so central and pivotal because it's related to moving, right?
Yeah.
So as you move across the landscape, you raid, and when you're static, then you're doing the rest, and so it feels like you're not doing anything when you're being static. You're just doing side uninteresting things while raiding is central.
Yeah, in terms of the game studies analysis of this, all the verbs in the game, or most of the verbs in the game, so the things that you get to do as a player, are about this. It's charging, it's bracing, it's fighting, it's shooting. Very little of it is. Go ahead.
They missed an opportunity with trading then, right? So Vikings, of course, were also traders. It would be cool to sell slaves, right? That's what Vikings usually did. They would take slaves and they would sell them all over the place.
They specifically did not include that in the game.
No, because of current day politics, of course. Being that is not selling slaves is not it's a kind of a hot button issue in the United States in particular, but other places as well. Part of the greater decolonization or post-colonial debate in our societies. So many games shirk back from showing slavery. It's not just Assassin's Creed, but they talk about thralls in this game, and sometimes they. This is. Let's take the photo.
That's a nice photo.
It's a nice
photo. A bit of a Matrixy photo.
Yeah, exactly.
So here's where current day ideology interferes with historical accuracy, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's and one of the other bigger discussions as well with games like this has to do with the presence of female warriors on the battlefield. It is a discussion that has been sort of done now for Assassin's Creed, but it's still very much a big discussion in historical games. Like, there were not supposed to be any women on the battlefield, but at the same time, people want to play different types of characters. They don't always want to play the gruff male soldier, basically. So that's why we get to choose. And also,
and for the Vikings, of course, there is a current scholarly debate going on about their historical presence, yes or no. And there are some scholars who suggest that they were very much a reality, right?
Yes.
On the basis of archaeological finds and also the sagas and what have you. They're mentioned every now and then. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is discussions that you will see referred to in Reddit threads and all sorts of other things about this topic. So it becomes quite a thing.
And all that. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well,
that's good. So in that way, the game sort of inspires historical research and interest in the period. That's good.
Absolutely. No, these Assassin's Creed games are. We've done a survey this summer among people that play historical games like Assassin's Creed, and they will often refer to the fact that games like this started them into their current career path or their current studies, and that's with all sorts of different games, including Assassin's Creed as being a big one. So maybe you'll get some more students flowing in after this particular game, Thijs.
Yeah, because, I hope so. They'll mostly be interested in the Vikings, so they should be interested in the Anglo-Saxons or the English.
I mean, that's up to you to spark their interest to the.
Well, I hope there'll be sort of downloadable content where you get to play someone from the other side, and he turns out to be very cool.
Yeah.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
I want to chime in a bit on the discussion in the chat regarding the...
King Alfred is going to win at the end.
That's true. That's true.
Spoilers.
History.
I want to chime into the discussion that's happening in the chat about the whole thing about the king keeping the previous king alive and why that matters in regards to the legitimacy and so on. Because it's not something that's not outside of historical tropes that we've seen. Oftentimes, it would be more worth it to keep a previous king alive, because then you can keep its court, that king's court, allied to you or relatively loyal, because you kept the king alive. It's sort of an insurance for them that you're not going to kill other members of the court because you're keeping the king alive. And we see it throughout in various other settings with this type of wars and the kings being kept as hostages or being kept in prison. It's not an unknown strategy.
Where was the son of
Yeah, it's true, and that's also sort of the reasoning that they go for diegetically within the game, right?
Yeah.
Allies are just like you, Eivor. Big and bold.
I mean, you show like also to the population that you conquer. You show that you have some form of compassion and respect for their previous stage. And it makes people feel less threatened.
When the Vikings come back in the 11th century and they conquer England again, so in 1016, Knut the Great, best name ever, Knut the Great conquers England, and what he does is he marries the old queen. So the queen of his predecessor, he marries her.
There you go.
That's a good way to do that. Let's see if we
continuity.
Let's see if
can we read this?
Yeah, it's very, the resolution of these documents is very poor because of course they're not meant to be zoomed in like this. But maybe you can have a little go. We'll see if I can make it a bit more
bigger.
I'll try to orbit. Let's see. Can I orbit a little bit more?
It's definitely not medieval handwriting, for as far as I can see. Or late medieval, possibly. I can't read it.
There's something says about particulier here, even particular style, style. There we go. So this is what.
That.
Yeah. So red. This is probably not the real thing. So we have another thing lying right here.
I saw behind somewhere. Oh, there's a stamp. That's nice.
And that's about as far as we get.
Testimonium. It's a testament or something.
Oh yes, at Veritatis. Yes,
Testimonium ego something. Nice.
Yeah. So this, but at the same time, this sort of stuff is normally. I mean, this is literally just a document, a random throwaway prop. So this is not.
Yeah.
Right.
They didn't put necessarily a lot of time into this to make it historically correct.
But we put a lot of time into it.
But we do. So. And
more scrolls. Nice.
Definitely a lot of scrolls here, because that's how you hide your secrets among a lot of other different scrolls. So let's see. I guess I have to just talk to you.
In fact, Pasco, it would be oftentimes less risky to keep a rival claimant alive, because then if you would kill, then the upcoming rival claimant would be even more dangerous, because it would have the right of revenge as well, contrary to the one who is alive, who has just surrendered.
This, do you know that symbol?
Oh, we don't get to see the symbol.
It seems she's been dealing with Burgred as well, the wretch.
She was the mercenary barking at you in Repton, yes? She's playing both sides of this war.
She could have told him anything. Told him secrets about me, about Repton, our plans.
Why bother with all this pageantry? Fashion a new crown and stick it on your melon. There you have it, you're the new king.
That is not how it works. Not in Mercia.
We have Tamworth. Burgred's on the run. You're the king in all but name.
It won't matter. So long as Burgred is free, the people will call him king. He must abdicate his crown to me.
There you go.
There you go.
That's what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
It's about the surrendering the crown, not about killing him, because then there might be another claim.
That might improve her impression of you.
We have the same father, Eivor, but his mother was a sow.
Meet us at Tona's camp when you're finished
Wow.
here.
Yeah.
I like the references to pigs. There was the Anglo-Saxon piggy, and now we've got a sow.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah. I heard from my friend Peter Alexander Kerkhoff, who is also someone who does all Germanic languages, that the pigs in this game are ahistorical, because they're the pink bald
big
kind of
ones.
piggies.
Absolutely.
And they should have lots of hair.
Yeah. No.
and be rough.
Yeah. We had I think we had a zooarchaeologist joining us on one of the streams. One time, and or not. Well, I definitely had this discussion about games and particularly pigs. Pigs in games are almost always wrong because they're always these pink. Well, these basically these hairless pink ones.
Hairless pink pigs.
Yeah,
they need to have hair.
Yes, lots of hair, lots of. As in fact they still do if you now go to England to some places. For example, the New Forest.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go. Look, this is your proper medieval pig.
You.
Nice. Sorry, where is
your office is a collection of things.
Oh, there you go. Very nice. So what I'm gonna do in the last 20 minutes that we got for the stream, I'm gonna let's go to Sutton Hoo. Yeah.
Yes. Let's go to Sutton Hoo.
Yeah, because
Sutton Hoo is a nice place.
Absolutely. Yeah. I wonder what you think of it right now, right here. Now let me make sure that I find the right one. I think it's probably
Sutton Hoo is the most famous archaeological discovery when it comes to early medieval England. Bunch of grave mounds, and in one of the grave mounds there was a ship, and underneath the ship there was a burial chamber with the famous Sutton Hoo helmet and lots of other stuff that you find on almost every book on the early Middle Ages. You'll find the Sutton Hoo helmet.
Absolutely, it's on display and prominent display in the British Museum, right?
Yeah, it's an iconic piece.
Yeah, exactly. One of the few pieces that's iconic for the British Museum that actually comes from England. Aha.
Yeah. Maha.
But
nice. Yeah.
But no, absolutely, it's a very iconic piece, and it's but it's also nice that that the place is there because it's an iconic piece, and people often see that mask and the other part of the hoard or of the burial, but they don't necessarily often see Sutton Hoo itself, which of course Sutton Hoo is nowadays still this very interesting burial ground landscape, right, with all these hills.
So you can still walk around the grave mounds. They're still there. So they've been opened up, but then they've been closed down again. So you can actually go to the mounds and you can walk around. You can't stand on the mounds, but you can walk around the mounds, and you can.
And that is because we have to sort of protect the archaeology inside, but it's kind of weird because the archaeology is. For example, that's the reason why you cannot go on to Stonehenge anymore, because if you do a lot of running around on soil, you'll end up shaking things up.
Yeah. That's why they're going to make a tunnel underneath Stonehenge, right?
Yes, absolutely. Sometimes English heritage is great, but the sort of the larger things around it sometimes don't end up working in its favor. For example, this particular tunnel under Stonehenge is quite a thing. I'm sure Stonehenge is in the... This is Sutton Hoo, by the way.
This is Sutton Hoo. Oh, nice.
Yeah, and as you can see...
we see little mounds.
We definitely see, in fact, we can walk on one of the mounds here. We're absolutely allowed to do that. And so what I was very surprised when I went to look this one up is that the game developers have decided to gamify it by making a little fort on top of Sutton Hoo.
Right.
And archaeologically, there's no indication at all that there was ever a fortification at Sutton Hoo. I mean, close to the village at Sutton Hoo, maybe there was something like this, a palisade, but not on this Barrow Hill landscape, right? So
no,
this is kind of weird. I already took the trouble to just get rid of the occupants of the fort. So in theory, we should just be able to browse Sutton Hoo.
We can just roam around, right?
We can just roam around in theory. Yeah, because this is supposed to. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the Tolkien fans among you will realize that. The kings of Rohan are also buried in mounds, and of course that was based on Sutton Hoo. And here we see a ship inside a mount.
Yes!
Hooray!
Hooray! Which is, so Sutton Hoo is from, if I recall correctly, from the 7th century, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, okay. Well, good. It's been a long time that I read about Sutton Hoo, but it sort of sticks. And clearly the ship would not have been exposed.
Well, so there are different there are different theories about this. I think some argue that some part of the ship would still be sticking out so that you could see, ooh, that guy was buried with a ship. Yeah.
Yeah, but not
it wouldn't look like this.
Wouldn't look like this.
No, in such a pristine condition after so much time, I don't think the wood would survive.
That too.
Can we go in and have a look at the dead person inside?
Well, let's see. Let's see if there's in fact a dead person inside. So there is. So
there is a.
Don't go in.
Go down.
Go in.
Go down
into the burial chamber.
Yes.
All right.
Very, very conveniently, there is a ladder.
Yes. So there was some archaeological evidence that Sutton Hoo was in fact previously looted. So that's when non-archaeologists go in and rob the place empty. So it could be that not quite to this extent because the ship was very much still intact. But so that's.
I'm sure there are other ways into it.
Yes, so there are various burial mounds in Sutton Hoo, and some of them may have been robbed. That's right, and then.
You can go into the door, right?
Yeah, no. I was just. Is that a longboat? Yes, it is. It is a longboat. Yes. So
can we have a look?
Yeah. So and this is the door is barred from here. So apparently we cannot really go in this side. So
there should be another way.
So we need to go to the other side.
So we have to get out again. Because interest. So as I said, this location has been gamified. It's a fort, and it's also one of these pieces where you can get this set of armor that you can then start to wear in the game as well. So I honestly don't know. So that's somewhere, as you can see, somewhere beneath our feet right now. The game indicates.
Oh, look at these shovels, though.
Look at the shovels. Yeah, exactly. There's looters at work here, right?
I wonder if to what extent these shovels are accurate.
As far as I know, they are kind of accurate. Yeah, absolutely. It's if you want to sort of see a lot of this stuff for real, then the closest place to do that is Archeon, where they have this little reconstruction of not, of course not all England, but of Dorestad and the High Middle Ages, and they'll have shovels like this lying about there. So I'm thinking could be. That's the archaeologist in you immediately wants to check out shovels. So,
yeah.
So whenever there's a cave somewhere in a game, that must be the answer.
I also like how they have torches left and right of the cave, which serve absolutely no purpose. But,
absolutely no purpose. Yes. But well, apparently we.
There's someone still alive.
There was still a straggler here.
Yep.
Oh wow.
As you can see, I'm dressed differently now. I'm dressed in Carolingian armor.
Oh yeah, that's the Carolingian armor.
Which, if you have a Twitch Prime account, you'll get Carolingian armor for free. So if you're if you want to get this stuff, you can just get it. This is not that I'm trying to say make any sort of commercial for Twitch, but that's if you wonder how I got that. That's how I got that.
Could you dig out that thing? Look at all this stuff.
Oh, that thing, Aris, is just it is absolutely weird. It's a bunch of iron ore.
Oh.
It's just, this is clearly not how you would mine, but...
no, I don't know.
So, this is another staple of video games. You have to break vases. You have to break stuff, but particularly ceramic vases to get through.
I mean, they break easily, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's very nice. Just listen to them break. Yes. I mean, you get
the door.
The archaeologists of the future have to get some, ceramic shards to excavate. They can all be whole. So let's see. I think probably we're now going towards the innards of Sutton.
It looks like it.
Nice.
So, but
that gives the sort of Indiana Jones feeling of archaeology.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, this is another little obstacle. We have to.
You need to read it.
Let's read this and let's see what it says.
Bandage scrollings.
Or all oils just beyond. So don't wave those torches around unless you want to join the feast of the dead in their moldering graves. So this wall is that's definitely another super subtle hint. This wall is one of those obstacles in games that you can break it with basically an explosion. I'm not so sure if explosive oil is historically accurate, but Michael Bay also needs to be part of this movie. So I think. what they want to.
Inaccurate, right? In Byzantium, they used to have the liquid fire. So
That's true. That's true. But I wonder about Anglo-Saxon England.
I don't know.
But I guess
Byzantium-
this is what they want me to do. Not entirely sure, but let's see.
Do it. Yes, do it.
Really?
Just do it.
Oh well. That's
Fun.
oh yeah. I think
the
that.
wall.
I think that worked. I think that worked. Oh,
Oh,
yes.
run away! Run away! Oh. Yep.
So, definitely. We'll wait.
Easy.
We'll wait until the fire's out. Yes, there we go. And there it is. The other side of the door, and then the stuff that they find. Will it be the helmet? Will it be the helmet?
Yeah, so that's what we want, right?
We don't know. This is like a cliffhanger. Find a key for each chest lock. Oh my god, we have to find a key still. All right, let's find this key real quick.
Do you think the key would be somewhere around?
Oh yes, for sure. And I have a very handy raven in this game. But I haven't really done much with. But let's see if we can.
Like a Viking.
Yeah, very much like a Viking. So let's see if we can. You know what? I'm gonna say. There's another end to this cave. So maybe the
keys are over there.
Collect key. There we go. Let's have these lying around as one should. So I wonder if there's anything still left here. Well, there's still. We can explore that part of it later. But let's get back to the chest and see if we can.
Let's see if we get the helmet.
Yeah, that would be something, right? If they would put that here, that would be something. I think. Let's see.
Or the shoulder clasps. The shoulder clasps have little golden pigs on them, so that would be good. The Sutton shoulder clasps.
Okay, let's hope for either the hairy pigs. I'm sure that they would have been, but let's see what we get. A plank and buckler. that is not very.
We got a plank.
We got a plank. Woohoo!
Hooray!
Hooray!
Anticlimactic.
Anticlimactic. Yeah, I do feel that this is a missed opportunity for the game developers. They should have just gone all out and put the Sutton helmet in.
It doesn't make sense that it's not there. It doesn't make sense because why do you go into like the trouble of gamifying this thing if you're not putting like the iconic find in there?
Yeah, exactly. I think people would have recognized this. Oh, we still have to get out now. Let's see. So, but that's in general, I would say, is that I like the fact that Sutton is here. I like how they clearly have been like they've been reading the sources with all the mounts, and the ship also looks properly sized, etc. But then I think they could have gotten away with not gamifying this in the sense of putting a fort around it. I think they should have just had the landscape. And went for the Sutton helmet. That's how I think. If you want to give like historical advice to game developers, then that would have been it for me. I would say it would have even been better. If
that would have been really cool if you could have gotten the Sutton helmet and the shoulder clasps and the shield.
Yeah.
That would have been really nice.
One thing could be, and in defense of the game developers, that the Sutton helmet is copyrighted. Right, you cannot just go out and about and use the Sutton helmet as a thing. It's not public. It's not in the public domain. It is owned by the British Museum.
It does pop up in many films. Even in Gladiator, there's a Sutton helmet. In Doctor Strange, in the cabinet of weird stuff in New York, there is the Sutton helmet.
Exactly.
And as I said, the Sutton helmet is really everywhere.
Yeah, it's not very hard to get the Sutton helmet. It's not playing.
So it's not really hard to use it either, apparently.
No, apparently. So yeah, it's a bit of a pity, but still, it's nice that the location is in the game.
But if you remember, Angus,
really
when we were watching that in the article that Liam wrote, and discussing the trailer as well, there was this really big dude that wore a helmet that looked like the Sutton helmet, right?
It looked like a combination of the Sutton helmet with some other elements.
With a Roman helmet, yeah.
With a Roman helmet, yes, absolutely.
Because it had the red plumes on top.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure that I'll find something a little bit like that. So what I'm going to try and do in the last 5 minutes, maybe the chat can help us, especially people that have been playing this game. Find a spot. I guess maybe Colchester could be it. Or otherwise, maybe let's say another place where they will definitely should have been speaking Leicester, probably. They should have been speaking Old English here. So let's see if we can hear some Old English being spoken aloud.
Right.
Do it.
The photos
Should
of
have
it.
gone to Wessex.
Yeah, yes, but that once again is one of those high-level places.
Ah, right.
And I'm probably
You'd get killed.
yeah, I would get killed, and I would be I would need to level up for a couple of
tens of hours
before I get to go to Wessex. Unfortunately,
I was reading that some people are like 40-50 hours in, and they feel like they're not even close to
the end of it. No, it's
yeah.
a really big game. They've really put a lot of. Yeah, it's absolutely good. But at the same time, I kind of wish that it was a little bit smaller, because then you could go much sooner to all those highlights that you do want to see.
I feel like, you know, the old the early Assassin's Creed, like 20-25 hours games makes sense.
Makes a
enough.
bit more sense, and that's also so now they go for. Remember, the first Assassin's Creed game is just a couple of cities in the Levant. And now it's just this entire region is entirely super detailedly constructed open world, with like all the way from the north, from York to all the way to Wessex. So it's big.
Yeah, it is big.
All right, let's see. I'm gonna turn up the volume so you can see if we can listen to some Old English.
Is there a haystack?
There, it's a bunch of leaves, but
Well, almost.
close enough.
Right.
Let's hear. They're being kind of quiet, so they're not saying anything. Don't be coy now. Oh, wait, I have to make sure I don't get spotted by the guards here. That's definitely a thing. So this is a bit of stealthing that we're doing right now. So that's
right.
All right, let's see. We have to find some people talking to each other. I'm hearing somebody, at least. Maybe he's mumbling something. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go all out. Let's see, into the options. I'm gonna switch out the music. There we go. So we just want the exactly. You're gonna go all the way down. Very nice atmospheric music, but we just want to hear people talking now.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
I think it was counting.
I wonder.
There's lots of mistakes in the old English.
That's nice. Yeah, that's Old Norse.
That's Old Norse.
Hold on. Oh, that's Old English. Hold on. Go back to that person. 3 days.
Hey, who are you?
3 days.
Leave me alone, soldier. Leave me alone. I don't want any trouble. Oh no! We're doing research here. Oh dear. Well, nobody's talking Old English now. Oops. So, apparently, I just killed a research subject.
No, the only native speaker of Old English is killed.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Alexander Kerkhoff is in the house. That's good.
That's something you don't want to
Hey,
hear.
Alexander.
So, if you're interested in old Germanic languages, Alexander Kerkhoff is someone to follow on Twitter, and he also has a blog, Treasures of Dutch. And he's also been playing this game, and he's been sharing his insights.
Yes, very nice. Yes, maybe Alexander should come on one of these streams as well at some point. Maybe
yes.
Maybe
we're getting
we
everybody in the stream.
Everybody. Let's see if we can. She's just humming. Oh. She's talking though. Are you saying something? Don't be coy now. I won't kill you, I promise.
Little bits of wood. No.
Oh, there's a pig, by the way, running around.
Talking about pigs.
A historical pig.
An ahistorical pig. All right, yes. Absolutely. Where? Oh, the pig ran. The pig ran out. It was too afraid of us. I'm gonna guess.
We're gonna kill it. Of course, gonna run away. Oh.
Are you talking? Or are you just having a staring context?
This is Old English.
Chapman Flufat, after shipman is sage he may teach that he would haben.
So they're talking about a merchant being flying and all that, fleeing.
Shishera ye rave, ne futomat swatherk. He is on tam weirstone.
He is the worst.
Fuel from heather, nimish swadol. Bellen from heathen is intinga that throatsy, yes litten, so meethetocht. Ich ondete that he seen swah arles swah bishop. Gripen as weef on fara del boot on shume. Ich wile saxberan wast. Who is so world ye warden, that drichten e for shaw ye paper? Fandas store drichten.
So what?
Lovely conversational Old English there. So you can hear the word drichten, which means lord, and
some Latin as well.
Some Latin coming in.
Yes.
Multilingual early medieval England.
Yes.
Very nice.
There we go. So we were talking about merchants fleeing and.
Yeah, I heard chapman, so that's a merchant. I heard some about Richten, and they were complaining about how the world has come this way or whatever.
A topic for the ages.
Yeah. Your typical complaint.
Yes. Hey,
What's happened to the world?
They were not talking about the weather then. That's.
It's a pity that there's no subtitles for the Old English. That would make it easier.
That would make it easier, yeah. It could be that. I don't think they put subtitles in for the Old English. They put captions, closed captions in it for sounds and things like that. But I don't think it. I don't think it includes the Old English.
Yeah, the same is true for the previous two. They did not, for the localized conversations, they did not put any subtitles for Greek or whatever.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
It would be cool to get sort of the lyrics or the captions for the Old English and the Old Norse. See what
it would be.
What they've done.
Yeah, it's maybe a nice thing for a YouTube video where you get a lot of footage in from people talking in this game, and you just try and subtitle
you analyze it.
Yeah. Sounds like
would make for a good thesis topic for all the students in the chat.
Absolutely, yes, very good, very good thesis topic. It'd be very cool to see something like that happening, and also, and it would be very much about this whole thing that you're also doing research on, right? About the status of Old English in contemporary culture, and it's
so the revival of Old English. So of course you see it in Vikings TV series. You see it now in this video game. Beowulf the movie with Angelina Jolie has some Old English in it.
Yeah.
So Old English is making a comeback.
Yes. All right.
Each before the swa, there. Mine ye fan through a thought ye mot.
Each ne bidan his ye nitanan anglitan seon. Ye marzo de beoth way on a tune if we spade haben. Bahat may that do swigos.
Right.
So,
if you're in a hurry.
Yes.
Quite nice. Yeah. So some nice insights in the chat. So the scholar who made the Old Norse translations, Peter Alexander Kerkhoff, is telling us actually provided phonetic transcriptions, but the voice actors butchered it.
So if you're listening to these voice actors, how does it sound to you? The pronunciation?
So I think the Old English is quite nice. It's of course we're never quite sure what they would have sounded like, but this sounds pretty nice.
Yeah, it does.
Of course, the issue is that they talk a bit slowly, but that's okay.
I guess it must have been quite difficult for them to go through this dialogue smoothly if it was not slow.
It doesn't sound very natural just yet, but it's quite nice.
It's because of course Aris with the previous Assassin's Creed game Odyssey, they were speaking modern Greek, right?
It was a mix. It was a mix of like modern Greek expressions with ancient Greek either words or parts of dialogues. I guess it was awkward. It was awkward.
All right.
Especially the curse words that they would use.
Yes, you mean you refer to Malaka, I'm guessing.
Particularly, yeah.
Yes.
Not that they would not use it in ancient Greece, mind you, but just differently.
Differently. I think we've seen some Mercian kings, king making. We've seen Sutton Hoo. We've tried to raid a monastery, but we're repelled by the monks, or at least their buddies.
We've heard some Old English.
We heard some Old English. We heard some Old Norse.
Yeah, we had some good discussions.
Yeah, quite nice.
Quite nice. Thanks so much for joining us, Thijs, on this.
Thank you.
On this historical outing.
Do keep on live streaming this game. I think it has a lot of potential, and you should definitely bring Peter Alexander Kerkhoff on. I think he'll be a nice addition, especially since he's also been playing the game.
Yes,
and I hope that many students and many people will start exploring early medieval England and finding out how much fun the Anglo-Saxons are and how cool Anglo-Saxon culture is and how cool Old English is. And if they want to know more, they need to go to Leiden University and take our courses in Old English.
There you go.
Absolutely, and people can also people can also find you on Twitter, right? If they want to reach out to you directly.
Yeah, that's right. Just look for Thijs Porck. There's only one of them. So
the one and only, and now there's also a Thijs Discord Porck. So there you go. Thanks so much for joining us. And when we get to the Beowulf mission, we'll be sure to let you know, and we'll try to invite you back in, and it'll be a lot of fun. Anyway, thanks so much. Sure. I had a blast.
It was great.
Thanks all of you for being here. I hope you had fun. We do this more or less every Tuesday and Thursday. Not always Assassin's Creed. Next Tuesday will be another playthrough of another session
of Imperator Rome. Probably the last session for this playthrough.
Absolutely.
Hopefully.
We are going to square off, or Times New Roman, Corinne or Value Intern is going to square off with the Ptolemaic Egyptian kingdom versus the Antigonides. It's going to be a absolutely dramatic, epic battle or series of battles. And then next Thursday, we may do more Assassin's Creed, or we may in fact do something else entirely, right, Aris?
Yeah, I don't know. What are we going to do? Are we going to finally go back into our civilization playthrough?
No, next Thursday, you're doing something else entirely. You know what you're doing?
We're doing something. Shit, I forgot.
You're defending your dissertation next Thursday, Aris. So,
I'm defending my dissertation next Thursday.
Absolutely, and
so there will be a celebratory stream.
There will be a celebratory stream, which we will not be playing any sort of historical games, but we will be having fun with by playing Among Us, this game about this betrayer mechanic game where you're in a spaceship and a couple of people are betrayers. It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
So that's for next week, but we're here all the time on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And also on Twitter @ValueFND. And of course, if you want to take courses from us, that's also Leiden University.
Any one of us.
Exactly.
We all have courses in Leiden University.
I have to stick with Leiden University. What can I say? That's the place to be for games and history. That's it. All right.
Right.
Thanks so much, all.
Thanks so much.
We'll see you all.
Like
soon.
and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. And aside from that, stay happy, and stay healthy as well. Bye.